bevo.com.
John, you're a very well-known philanthropist. I understand in the past you've donated £5 million to the Tate, £10 million to set up the Genesis Foundation, and so forth. So how do you decide where to donate your money?
Normally I back things I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about anything that has to do with dignity, whether it's the homeless, human rights, or nurturing young artists whose dignity and self-esteem needs a bit of a boost. And within philanthropy, we normally back people. You back an organization and support somebody who's particularly impressive, someone that's a leader, someone that's an innovator, someone that's a pioneer. You don't just back organizations, you back people at organizations, or you back individuals who are beginning their career.
John, a lot of people, I think that they've got to wait until they're super high net worth individuals before they start being philanthropists. But is that the case?
Philanthropy is not about money. Philanthropy is about mind share of someone's daily life and how much of their day they're giving to somebody else or some other cause, and where they become more selfless. And therefore it's not about you, it's about them, and it's about thinking about, can I help by giving, one of my projects is a new 3-year-old charity in New York called DKMS, which is, does nothing but bone marrow matching of leukemia patients who need to find the right bone marrow match. And anyone up until the age of 55 can take a swab and donate, be a donator for a bone marrow match. And you've now had lots of examples in the United States of people living and surviving leukemia as a result of having the right match. And this is a relatively new project. It's only 3 years old in America. It's been in Germany for a little longer time period. But it's effectively you're giving up something that a healthy person can easily give up, which is a bone marrow match. And in many cases, you're saving a life. That doesn't cost you any money, but it costs you a willingness to be part of that bone marrow network. So I think there are a lot of people who can play a role in philanthropy which will actually nurture their own ego and nurture their own self-esteem and make them feel like they're a broader-based human being. I keep using this analogy of the table. Many people can spend time doing things, whether they give time, they give energy, they give money. A lot of people just give network and give access to other people who might, at the right point in time, provide a useful introduction or a useful piece of guidance or information. Philanthropy is not about checkbooks, and I get annoyed because I think checkbook philanthropy is the worst form of philanthropy because it's cold, it's sterile, and it's a bit like a one-night stand. It has a purpose, but it doesn't really have any long-lasting impact either, I think, on the charity nor on the individual giving.
Interesting, John. So do you think there's anything we can do from the sort of the countrywide perspective to make sure that we embed philanthropy even more into our culture?
Now, I think one of the things that this country can do and other countries can do, and the Obama administration is very conscious of it, is to try to reintroduce a much more service-oriented society, namely where children, and at one point the Prime Minister Gordon Brown in this country talked about this with the, I think it was the Russell Commission, trying to encourage children to give up, and even as part of their core curriculum, a certain number of hours a week volunteering time. Even if you get a sort of 10-year-old child to volunteer 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours max a week, you would be surprised that if that child does that for 10 years, volunteerism and the value of donating time will be inculcated on that child for life. And the child will understand that that's a greater gift, giving time, than actually just thinking that it's all about, oh, I have to have money to be a philanthropist. No, I have to give time to be a philanthropist. I don't necessarily have to have money to be a philanthropist.
bevo.com